Welcome to This Explainer. Whether you're a teacher looking to inspire your classroom, a student affairs administrator, a class advisor, or an emerging student leader, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking a really comprehensive look at how to transform simple environmental awareness into a powerful, meaningful student-led sustainability project. We're going to map out exactly how to plan and launch a campaign that doesn't just, check an academic box, but actually builds vital real-world skills and genuinely serves the community.
But before we get to the how, we absolutely have to talk about the why. I want you to just pause for a second and think about this number. Did you know that only 1% of the Earth's water is actually available for us to use? Just 1%. It's a pretty stark, surprising reality. Yet, despite how incredibly precious this resource is, water waste happens literally every single day. We've all seen that one school water fountain that just keeps running for 10 seconds after you let go, or that endlessly dripping tap in the cafeteria. We are definitely taking that 1% for granted.
Okay, let's dive into this. What if we shifted the narrative from a massive global problem to a local, hands-on solution? What if the students themselves became the champions of change? Instead of just studying environmental science and theory, reading it out of a textbook, we can empower students to become real-world problem solvers. They can take meaningful action to reduce waste and really make sustainability a way of life, both on campus and beyond.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the 1% problem, move into project-based learning in action, and then structure out your actual water campaign. After that, we'll cover empowering teams with technology and wrap the whole thing up with showcasing impact and reflection. Consider this your step-by-step Changemaker's playbook. Section 1. The 1% problem. The stark reality of water waste. Section 2. Project-based learning in action. Empowering students to solve problems. All right, let's make sure we're all operating from the exact same baseline here. Project-based learning, or PBL, is basically an educational approach that blends academic content with actual real-world application. The ultimate goal? To turn students into active solution seekers. Through PBL, students aren't just memorizing textbook facts about the water cycle. They're developing lifelong leadership skills, a deep sense of collaboration, and honestly, a profound sense of purpose. So, how do we actually start? Well, the foundational campaign steps are broken down into 3 absolutely crucial actions. Step 1. Choose a real-world problem that students can actually own. You really want to start with a highly visible issue, like water waste in the school restrooms or cafeterias. Step 2. Set learning goals that go way beyond the textbook. Your campaign should be designed to develop critical thinking through problem analysis, creativity through making campaign visuals, and robust communication skills. And then Step 3. Craft a driving question to anchor the whole mission. Here's a perfect example of what that Step 3 question should look like. How can students lead a water-saving movement at school and inspire their families to do the same at home? And this brilliantly illustrates the power of an open-ended, action-oriented inquiry. A question like this stops students from just being passive learners. Instead, it becomes this kind of North Star that guides all of their research, their planning, and their eventual campaign output.
Section 3. Structuring your water campaign. Breaking down the blueprint.
Let's move to the execution phase and see how this builds. Here is your strategic rollout blueprint, mapped out into 7 distinct phases. First, students learn to understand why this matters. Next, they investigate their own school's water use. Then, they design and create their actual campaign materials. Posters, videos, you name it. Then comes the really exciting launch phase, where they share the message through events or online. Crucially, they must measure their impact by tracking pledges and survey results, and finally, reflect on the entire journey.
Section 4. Empowering teams with technology. Building modern skills.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how you can set up a highly practical tech and team matchup to execute this efficiently. You just let students organize based on their natural strengths. For instance, the research and speaker teams can utilize AI tools like ChatGPT to brainstorm scripts or summarize complex facts. The creative team, they can dive right into Canva to design professional-level posters and infographics. And the monitoring team can use Google Forms to track surveys and collect those water-saving pledges. It's really a perfect alignment of student interest, clear responsibility, and modern utility. Integrating these tools serves a much deeper educational purpose too. It keeps students digitally literate, vastly boosts their productivity, and ensures really high engagement throughout the whole process. So the crucial point is that you are building essential modern workplace skills right alongside environmental empathy.
Section 5. Showcasing impact and reflection. Celebrating the changemakers.
At this point, you need to strike a balance between outward celebration and inward growth. On one hand, you have showcasing impact, hosting an eco-assembly, presenting videos, and celebrating the class with the most water-saving pledges. But right alongside that fun public celebration, you absolutely must have deep reflection. Have students write in journals or discuss their personal growth, their group dynamics, and what they'd actually do differently next time. Because reflection is where the deep, lasting empathy and learning actually happen.
When students lead a cause they care about, the learning becomes real, it becomes relevant, and it's incredibly powerful. It becomes this amazing opportunity to grow leaders who genuinely care for their world. Let's save every drop, one student project at a time. It's a great reminder of the massive impact a single, well-structured campaign can really have.
So, ready to get started? By following this project-based learning approach, you're equipping students with lifelong skills and the confidence to be true changemakers. If you're a teacher or student leader watching this, take this blueprint and run with it. The world's water supply is finite, but human ingenuity? That definitely isn't. What will your students' first drop in the bucket be? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.